Wow.
Carl Brendanson, Troy Morris Jr.,
Wow.
and the first guy outside looking in, the Sandman, Rob Sanders.
You are kidding me.
Nope. He was nudged out by less than half a car by his teammate, the hitman Kyle Heckman.
Wow. So Kyle Heckman's in the 11X.
Here's who made it from the B feature. Kyle Heckman, Jacob Dewsbury, Austin Burke, Chet Reeves, Jerry Flippo, Alex Stanford.
What?
Clint
What?
Clint Rickenbach, Logan Drake, Robbie Sawyer, Austin Kiefer.
Those are all drivers, you guys, capable of winning the A feature. Sawyer, Drake, Flippo, not Sanders. He came out of the B. Who else did you say?
Heckman. He's won a race out here. Yeah, there was Dylan Thornton. He's won a race this season out here.
The Sawyer in the B main blows my mind, first of all.
Yep.
Kiefer in the B main. Everything about that is wrong. I mean, here's a guy that won the Budweiser Nationals last year.
Yeah.
And he's in the B main at the Moshier?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Now, here's proving your point about people making it to the main event, to the A feature, and where they should be. 3 of the top 5 started 11th or worse.
Out of the B main.
2 of them came out of the B main.
And those would be?
Well, 5th place was Roger Holder. He started 11th.
Mm-hmm. Good run.
Jerry Flippo started 18th, finished 4th.
Fantastic run. That 13 car is fast.
Mm-hmm.
He is very fast, and he looked very good at Southern Oregon earlier this year.
That 13 car is an exact clone of Ethan Dotson's Victory Circle car.
Go figure.
With the same help that Ethan's been getting, because they've been looking at Flippo, and he was able to make it happen this year and towards the end of the year. Towards the end of last year. So he's on the up and up, and that's why you guys saw him up in the PNW this year, because, he's got good stuff and he can travel, and he's got the talent.
And he ran well in Speed Week.
3rd place. This guy started
who was 4th?
17th.
He was 4th. Who was 4th?
Flippo was 4th.
Okay, Flippo was 4th. 3rd place?
Alex Stanford in the 98 started 17th.
Wow. Dude is fast every track he unloads. The 98, that is one talented dude, and they've got a great program.
Speaking of talented wherever he goes, the kid who finished 2nd started 4th, and 24 hours prior was racing in Iowa. Jumps in somebody else's car, not his own, and makes it up to 2nd place. He was driving the C9 of Chad Rickenbach's car. None other than Ethan Dotson.
Yeah.
See, that's a name that I expect to hear in Victory Lane.
Yep.
Given what he does on the West Coast, and he goes back to the Midwest.
24 hours prior was in Iowa racing.
Winning races, by the way.
Yes.
Winning races against the best modified talent in the country.
Ethan Dotson.
He literally got on a plane after his race Friday night in Iowa.
To make the Moshier.
Flew home so they can get him strapped in and seated for the C9 machine so he can run the Moshier.
And that's a good car. That is a very good car.
The winner led every lap this race. Stayed out of all the trouble. The 15B, the Dominator, Brad Pounds.
Oh, yeah.
The Pounds name in Victory Lane at Bakersfield is synonymous. Their history there is rich. With Scott going back to his dad, who was a nationally recognized driver for so long in late models and modifieds. No surprise.
taking it a step farther, the grandfather who recently passed away, God rest his soul. We're praying for the Pounds family. Pops Pounds just recently passed away, so it was a very tough thing for Scott and Brad to be there. But that was, when he won, that was one of the things that he said is, Mike Moshier and Pops are up there talking, and they're having a good old time watching this.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's
and those guys were friends. They go back a long ways. I'll tell you, that's the only name when you were talking about races who won at the Moshier, that's the only name that I knew won because of the clip I saw. Now, on the last lap, Brad Pounds had his hands full, you guys, with Robbie Sawyer. Remember, Robbie Sawyer, he mentioned it came out of the B main. Robbie Sawyer is very, very good at Bakersfield Speedway and pretty much anywhere else he unloads. But he was all over the backside of Brad Pounds, made contact with the wall and I'm going to say turn 1. Is that correct?
No, it's coming out of turn 2.
Coming out of turn 2, he made contact with the wall, hard contact, took him out of the race. He was running second on the tailpipe of the 15B of Bounds.
Right.
Pounds.
Yeah.
For those that haven't been to Bakersfield Speedway, turn number 2 is where we enter on the backstretch the cars.
That wall narrows up. The wall narrows up very quick.
Yes, it sticks out a little bit because then we have the opening for the cars to come on. A lot of these guys, they're looking ahead. They're looking at, down where the wall narrows. They're not remembering that the wall narrows here where the lights are and not down in turn 3. Mm-hmm. And it will jump up and bite you right in the butt, and it's right under the KUZZ sign. And if you aren't paying attention and it hits you, you will be seeing Z's.
Right, and I saw the clip.
It was a tough lift.
It was. Oh. I saw the clip with Sawyer, and I was surprised given how talented Robbie Sawyer is. I mean, that dude, I don't know if you're going to find anybody more fun to watch in a modified anywhere in this country. He is so much fun as a driver when he does behind the wheel to watch. Very surprised when he got into that wall.
It was, it was a racing thing. A car got a little loose on him, and he was trying to make something happen and trying to get to the point where he can get up with Brad, and it just didn't happen.
Well, it was the money lap. It's checkers or records. It's win or die trying, and unfortunately for Sawyer, he died trying. In a sense, but it
was tough, and he ended up finishing 16th.
But do you expect anything less from Robbie Sawyer as a driver? He's going to give everything he's got and leave it all on that racetrack. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. That's what it did. But Brad Pounds finds himself back in victory lane at Bakersfield Speedway. And again, that is no surprise to anybody, given the history of that family there. I want to see what he does at the Bud Nationals.
And I'm going to tell you right now, that track was dry slick.
Well, it's going to be, especially. I mean, that's when. Here's the thing, though, Mike. You call Bakersfield Speedway dry slick. That is the slickest surface I have ever seen at any track in this nation.
But it's tricky slick because you look at it.
Tricky slick.
And it's
We have a new racing term
black.
Officially.
Tricky slick.
It is black.
It's black.
It is.
So you're thinking it's got asphalt on it, and it has a nice blue groove.
It's got rubber
to it. So you're thinking it's taking rubber. It's going to get a little bit of grip's going to come to it. But no, it just glazes over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most deceptive racing surface probably on the West Coast.
Well, if you go look at videos, if you do a search on Moxie Media and you look at some of the pictures, not videos, that we've posted over the years at Bud Nationals, the surface is unbelievable. That's, the first and second night, of course, are two different things. But, man, that second night is just black and slick, and it's actually quite cute to see those, nice little Budweiser girls walking across there in their little heels.
That takes talent itself.
It does.
I'll leave my heels at home this time, okay?
Okay, you do that, Mike.
But if for those that are listening and have never been to Bakersfield Speedway, go ask some of the drivers that have. and they will tell you whatever book you have on racing surfaces,
throw it out.
You might as well just throw it and grab some hot dogs and barbecue on top of it.
It's unbelievable.
It makes no sense for out here. I mean, you had a couple guys earlier this season from your area come down and race.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me in between the heat races, he goes, this was hooked up real good. It's probably going to dry out a little bit, but it's going to turn into catch some rubber, and it's going to be real tacky on the bottom. And I said, you think so? He goes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he set it up for that, and he was on ice skates the whole night.
Right.
Yeah. Typical of somebody making their first visit to Bakersfield.
Yeah, and it's not like he was off that much on setup, but it's just that minute miss. That track will make you look like a fool.
Yes.
And that's easy. Yeah, with that service, it's done that to several top drivers. I want to talk upcoming events, Mike. I know you guys got something coming up. Before we do that real quick, we're going to talk about the R. Charles Snyder Tribute at Southern Oregon Speedway. This is absolutely huge for the modified ranks. 2-day show, September 31st, August 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this, Mike.
August 31st, September 1st.
That's what I meant.
Right. I am saddened that I'm not going to be able to make that trek.
Well, I know we were talking about it. I was hoping we could get you up here. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out. But
I have a honeydew list, and that honeydew list is running out of time, so it's turning into a damn it do list.
$5,000 to the IMCA modified winner.
Yeah, and I hope that some of our guys from down here come up there.
We're expecting a huge field.
I know a few of them won't, because we're having a race here Saturday in Santa Maria for the Simpkins Memorial to commemorate Billy Simpkins' mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, because of the name, will stay down here out of loyalty and respect to their family. And I respect that 100%. But man, oh man, I wish some of those guys would make that trek up to you guys and go run. Not because it's $5,000 to win, but that race right there is going to be, I'm going to say right now, it's the prelude to the Bud Nationals. If you can go up there and race, you can come down here and try it.
Absolutely.
And test your luck and run with some of the best down here.
And the thing about this race is we are honoring the man at Southern Oregon Speedway who is to SOS what Mike Moshier was to Bakersfield Speedway, R. Charles Snyder. It's in his memory. He was a fantastic announcer down there, loved by everybody. To be in his booth, even on the soundboard, it still says R. Charles Snyder on his line that he used his mic on. I don't use that line. I don't use that line.
I wouldn't be able to either.
I simply just plug in the line 2, and that's what I use, and that was his line.
Luckily for us at Bakersfield, we recently had to replace the soundboard, so I don't have to go through that and see that every day.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to sit. Last year I sat on the side where Mike Moshier sat and announced. And every time I stood up, I looked and I saw Mike's pictures up there, and I saw his flag that he has up on the window, and sitting there. And I'm like, man, it's not that it made me uncomfortable to be there, but those are that's a giant seat to fill.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's for me is at Southern Oregon Speedway, trying to fill those shoes of R. Charles Snyder, who was there for so long. I didn't get to know him, but the feedback I've gotten from the fans and the drivers and his style of announcing, which is very different than mine, he was very well liked, very well respected, and I hope what I'm doing in the booth down there at Southern Oregon Speedway honors his memory as best as I can. His heritage, his legacy there. We've got big money on the line in his name.
That's all we can do.
Huge money on the line.
With respect and dignity. That's it.
Here's how well respected he was. The biggest modified race on the West Coast